Whenever you're ready, Rob.
Yeah, that might be a while. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome. I'm so glad you could join me today. Even though it's snowy, I know you made a hard trek out there. My tribute speech is perseverance. It's an odd topic, but I think it's relevant because we all experience times that are difficult in our lives, and we have to remember that even though when the going gets rough, we have to keep on, trucking through it. So what is perseverance? Perseverance is Einstein not giving up on the light bulb after 9,000 tries. Perseverance is Seabiscuit becoming the most winningest racehorse in terms of money and popularity in his time, despite physical injury of both horse and rider. Webster defines perseverance as a noun, as a steady persistence in course of action. A purpose, in spite of difficulties, obstacles, or discouragement. This is a tribute to perseverance as the quality I aspire towards and the quality that I know all of you share with me today. But how does perseverance relate us all together? Well, let's go back to Edison, I'm sorry. Edison started out from very humble beginnings. He started out as a telegraph operator, a poor person, but he rose to fame, and he invented some of the most, ingenious things to date, such as the light bulb. In fact, when people think of an idea, they think of a light bulb going off above their head. That all goes back to Edison. So, like I said, Edison started out very humble beginnings. He actually only had 3 months of formal education before he dropped out and was homeschooled. The teachers thought that he was a little bit slow, he was daydreaming a lot, and that he wouldn't really become anything. But as we know, he went on to start GE and many other companies. But how does that relate to me? Well, education and I did not start out as strong allies either. You see, although I was always in the gifted classes, I never really liked school. Took the SATs in 7th grade when I was about 12 or 13. By the time I was 16, I was still in 9th grade, and I dropped out. Yep. I decided that it would be faster for me to get my diploma and easier on my spirit, to do it in 4 hours as opposed to 4 years. So there I was, 16, out in the world. I started working at a car dealership, started jockeying cars around, and then I moved into the service department working on cars. And by the time I was 22, I pretty much hit a plateau. I was a service advisor, handling people's vehicle needs, and I gained a wealth of automotive knowledge. But there's only so much that you can learn in practice, which brings me back to school. So here I am pursuing that education to be an engineer, to learn more about the cars, the physics and the mechanics of the world that I love so dear. So that brings us to Seabiscuit. How is Seabiscuit and myself related? Well, Seabiscuit and his rider both broke their legs. In fact, it was quoted that between the two of them they had 4 good legs together. But they went on, like I said, to become the most winningest racehorses and rider in history, in spite, of the physical hardships. And that actually is not exactly like myself, but is similar to myself because, you see, I actually was severely injured in a motorcycle accident. I spent 3 months in Cooper University Hospital in a combination between ICU and the limb recovery ward. You can't see it right now, but my right knee is shattered in about 20 places. It's held together with bubble gum and duct tape. The doctors predicted that it could be amputated, and it would take me about a year to walk. As you can see, I'm standing here now, and it only took me about 6 months to walk, half the time they predicted. And on top of that, I also received a spine injury to my neck, and my right arm was completely paralyzed. In fact, at one point, it was atrophy, which means that there was no muscle density at all. In fact, the arm was almost separating from the socket from gravity and its own weight. The doctors told me at the time that there was nothing that could be done to correct this. It would be permanently paralyzed. I didn't believe him, so I went out and researched it myself and found out University of Penn, Dr. Zaggart had experimental surgeries to actually hotwire my arm, if you will, from other nerves out of my leg. So here I am today, a hotwired person. Almost $1 million man, but not quite. Maybe like $250,000 surgery man. So that's how it relates to me, those few people and occurrences in history. But I'm not alone. We all share that quality. We have all been in difficult situations and found the courage and the resolve to struggle through them, in spite of anything that might happen or anything that people might say to you to the contrary. So as you go forward in life and in school, know that you're going to be presented with more difficult situations. But when you do, and the sky seems the cloudiest, you must remember back to Edison and Seabiscuit, who even though things looked down from the very beginning and a lot of people didn't believe in them, they believed in themselves. And they found the courage to get it done and to accomplish their dreams. And I know that you all share that quality. And that's my tribute to perseverance.